Powerful earthquake hits southeast Taiwan. Taiwan specially invited to sign Queen's condolence book. Powerful typhoon pounds southern Japan. Number of Centenarians in Japan skyrocketing. Kate Middleton carries handbag from Taiwanese designer. Brits race to exchange paper banknotes. Germany's Oktoberfest reopens. New York's Fashion Week pushes boundaries.
Hello, I'm Jolie. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Monday, September 19th, and here are your top stories. The U.S. Geological Survey measured an earthquake at a magnitude of 7.2 and at a depth of 10 kilometers hit a sparsely populated southeastern part of Taiwan on Sunday. Taiwan's Weather Bureau measured the magnitude of the earthquake as 6.8. The quake caused damage including derailed train carriages and widespread damage to buildings. The Weather Bureau also said the epicenter was in Taidong County. A 6.4 magnitude aftershock on Saturday evening also occurred in the same area, which caused 1 death and 79 injuries.
According to the Central News Agency, the epicenter of Sunday's quake was in Chishang Township at a depth of 7 kilometers and 42.7 kilometers north of Taidong County Hall. The Taiwan Railways Administration said 3 carriages came off the rails at Dongli Station in eastern Taiwan after a part of the platform canopy collapsed. The Japan Meteorological Agency issued an advisory for a tsunami as high as 1 meter, reaching several southern Japanese islands. The earliest waves reached Yonaguni Island at around 4:10 p.m.
The media reported that Taiwan's de facto ambassador in London received a special invite to sign the Book of Condolence for Britain's Queen Elizabeth, while a Chinese government delegation has been banned from attending the lying in the state of Queen Elizabeth II. In a press release, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Taiwan's top representative to the United Kingdom, Kelly Shih, was specially invited by the British government to sign the condolence book at the Lancaster House, which is run by Britain's Foreign Office.
Taiwan state media, the Central News Agency, said the special arrangement means the Taiwanese representative is enjoying the same treatment as members of the royal family, heads of state, and representatives of other countries who have gone to Britain to mourn. The invitation to sign the condolence book came based on the importance attached to Taiwan-Britain relations and the precious friendship between the two peoples. The Taiwan government also congratulated King Charles III on his ascension to the British throne.
A powerful typhoon that hit southern Japan pounded the region with strong winds and heavy rain Sunday, causing blackouts, paralyzing ground and air transportation, and causing the evacuation of thousands of people. The Japan Meteorological Agency said Typhoon Yamato was sweeping the southern island of Yakushima, packing maximum surface winds of 162 kilometers per hour as it slowly headed north to the country's main southern island, Kyushu, where it may travel along the main island of Honshu in the coming days.
And so, for example, in 2018, just from the normal rainy season when they had extensive rains, about 200...
AP reported in the hard-hit Kagoshima prefecture, more than 9,000 residents took shelter at evacuation centers Sunday. In the neighboring Miyazaki prefecture, another 4,700 people evacuated. Kyushu Electric Power said more than 93,000 homes across Kyushu Island were without electricity Sunday because of damage to power lines and facilities. Public transportation, including trains and buses in Kigoshima and Mitsuyaki, were suspended throughout Sunday. Railway operators said bullet trains on Kyushu Island have been suspended.
According to a report released last Friday by Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, the number of centenarians in Japan has risen to an all-time high. There are now 90,526 Japanese citizens aged 100 and above, an increase of 5% from a year earlier and more than 5 times the number 2 decades ago. The data was unveiled ahead of September 19th's Respect for the Aged Day, or Kironohi, a national holiday. But the number also underscores the challenges facing the country as its population ages rapidly.
The media reported that Japan only had 153 centenarians in 1963 when the statistics started. The number topped 1,000 in 1981, 10,000 in 1998, and 50,000 in 2012. And now there are more than 90,000. Female centenarians numbered 80,161, accounting for 88.6% of the total. Among the country's 47 prefectures, Shiname had the highest centenarian rate per 100,000 population for the 10th straight year at 142, followed by Kyochi at 136, and Tottori at 132. Saitama had the lowest rate for the 33rd straight year at 43.
The UK's Prince William and Princess of Wales Kate Middleton appeared in a surprise visit to Sandringham Estate in Norfolk last Thursday. Thousands of people have visited the estate to leave tribute to the Queen. The Princess of Wales looked regal, dressed in black with a black leather handbag believed to be from Grace Hand, costing €2,250. Grace Hand is a brand founded by a Taiwanese-born British designer whose creation inherited a particular elegance from her wealthy Taiwanese family.
The given name of the designer and founder of Grace Han is Si Han, and her family name is Wang. She is the third generation of one of the richest families in Taiwan, the Formosa Plastics Group. Si Han began the journey of creating Grace Han in 2011 in a small apartment in Taipei. After the brand was rooted in both London and Taipei, Grace Han was noticed and adored by the Princess of Wales. The media reported while Kate Middleton wore various big brands, the Grace handbag is her favorite.
Consumers in the UK are racing to exchange their old paper banknotes for new plastic versions, just over a fortnight before they cease to be legal tender at the end of September. The Bank of England has warned people to expect long queues at its headquarters at Threadneedle Street in the City of London as they try to swap paper 20 and 50 notes. It has reassured customers that there is no deadline for exchanging the notes. However, after the deadline, they will no longer be accepted in shops or by businesses.
£20 Bank of England, printed twice around the edge. A finely detailed metallic image of the Margate Lighthouse and...
The Bank of England has suggested that some customers who do not need to use the paper money immediately can send their old banknotes to its offices by post. Polymer banknotes were introduced by the Bank of England in 2016, ending 320 years of paper money in Britain. New £20 notes featuring the artist Joseph Mallord William Turner were issued in February 2020, followed by the polymer £50 banknote featuring the Bletchley Park codebreaker and scientist Alan Turing in June 2021.
The world-famous Oktoberfest of Munich, Germany officially opened last Saturday for the first time since 2019. With 3 knocks of a hammer and the traditional cry of Oktoberfest, Mayor Dieter Reiter inserted the tap in the first keg to let the beer flow at noon on Saturday. Oktoberfest has typically drawn about 6 million visitors every year to the packed festival grounds in Bavaria's capital. Bavaria's Governor Markus Söder said at the opening ceremony, "I'm glad that we can finally celebrate together."
This year's Oktoberfest, the 187th edition of the event, runs through October 3rd. The event did not take place in 2020 and 2021 as authorities grappled with the unpredictable development of COVID-19 infections and restrictions. Those worries were put aside this year. The city announced in late April that Oktoberfest would go ahead, but revelers will need significantly deeper pockets than at the last Oktoberfest, with brewers and visitors facing pressure from inflation. A 1-liter mug of beer costs as high as €13.80 this year.
New York Fashion Week kicked off the start of Fashion Month for the Spring-Summer 2023 season last week in New York City. With 6 days of in-person runway shows, this New York Fashion Week was a triumphant return for many. The hustle and bustle on the streets of New York made it appear that pandemic restrictions are just a distant memory. The party atmosphere was palpable during the week as many designers took inspiration from disco glam and 1970s silhouettes for their collections.
The media reported that New York Fashion Month returned in a big way, with in-person runway shows hosted in iconic locations around New York City. Jason Wu's collection, Sheer Elegance in beaded gowns and digital prints, showed in a space overlooking the East River at Pier 17 at the South Street Seaport. Despite a return to in-person shows, Tommy Hilfiger and Carolina Herrera also teamed up with the video game platform Roblox to give their physical collections a presence in the metaverse.
FUNDAY News will help you sharpen your English skills and keep you informed about international current events. If you want to know more about our other programs and keep learning about the world's most important topics in English, please click the link in the description below to join FUNDAY for free. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. I'm Jolie, your host. I'll see you next time.